You can do it for me.
All right.
Peace, peace, peace. Up, everybody. Lafayette. It's your brother Sue Tech. We are live on Facebook. We live on Kofi Pie TV. Today we will be dealing with the sequel to my presentation about Moors. What's your nationality? Matter of fact, I should have had the presentation already up and running. I'm tripping. But what we gonna do is I got my brother Satep and I got my brother T'Challa with me. We're gonna play the commercial first, give y'all time enough to get in here, give me time enough to be able to share the show, and then we're gonna get right into it. So play the commercial for me, Satep.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
All right. We are back. Peace. This your brother Satepam Ra Mariaman. Hope y'all enjoy this show today. What's Your Nationality Part 2. If you don't have Volume 1, get Volume 1. I know a lot of people in the community got Volume 1, but I'm going to keep saying it. Get Volume 2 as well. Make sure y'all get Sean's book, One Night Before Bed. Make sure y'all get that Kofi Kalawai Trip to the Motherland. And then be on the lookout tomorrow. I believe the brothers is going live with a new announcement that's coming out tomorrow that I know y'all gonna like. And yeah, be on the way. Be ready for Volume 3, man. Volume 3 coming.
T'Challa. All right, my brother T'Challa might have stepped away. Y'all give me a second while y'all come in. Like and share the show.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, sharing it in these groups, making sure people know we live. But yeah, like Satep said, man, if you ain't got volume 1 or volume 2, you missing out. Some good literature, man, some good work, some good information. We also got the children's book, as you said, too, Kalawai's Trip to the Motherland and One Night Before Bed. A good piece of work for your children and a uh, good reading material for adults as well. You know, if you got your kids, you can read along with it. You will enjoy the literature just as they will. You know what I'm saying? And we got something big coming up tomorrow. So be on the lookout for those announcements. We also got volume 3 coming real soon. There's a lot of people got volume 1 and volume 2 that ain't finished now. One of them, yeah, y'all gonna have to catch up because we ain't playing, man. We dropping these books and these publications on y'all head.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
And we got stuff in the pot too.
Exactly.
We got stuff cooking up in the pot as well. So y'all be on the lookout, man. It's a lot of stuff going on. 2021 is gonna be big. 2020 was big for us. I believe 2021 gonna be real big.
Oh, there goes. You want to introduce yourself, brother Charlie, before we go in, or you just?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Man, driving, trying to get home. But anyway, I just wanted to say peace to everybody. Yeah, this topic right here is not only dealing with, for me personally, it's not only about dealing with the conversation of identity with Moors and people who identify as such, but it's part of the larger identity crisis as Black people that we have, where we want to act like we want to be everything other than what the evidence gives us. Science is not about being right. It's about just showing what is. It's going to be a good presentation. I'm excited. Like to share the show, family.
Yeah, man. And with that being said, hold on one second. With that being said, we about to get into it. I ain't gonna take all y'all time up. It's Thursday midday. So let me share my screen.
Hey, Sute, we gonna get it in, man, because them hurricanes over here on that East Coast, so it ain't sunny over here like it is in Cali.
Yeah, I heard. Y'all gonna be getting that residual rain too.
Yeah, we got time today, man.
Okay. All right, man. What's Your Nationality? Part 2. No More Nonsense by Suteka Kande Iyano Olawa. See, I kind of improvised the picture there. I wasn't feeling all. Yeah, I wasn't feeling all European though. I had to cover them up. I wasn't feeling that Christian flag either, so I had to cover it up with the shield, the Kofi Pie logo shield. But yeah, man. What's Your Nationality? Part 2. Just a little play on words. You know how the Moors like to ask people what's their nationality, even though most of the time it has nothing to do with nothing. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start with what is al-Andalus. Al-Andalus was the name of the Iberian Peninsula during Muslim rule. It was used by modern historians as an umbrella term for the former Islamic states in Iberia. At its greatest geographical extent, its territory occupied most of the peninsula and part of the present-day southern France, Septimania, and for nearly a century, between the 9th and the 10th centuries, extended its control from Fraxinet over the Alpine passes which connect Italy to Western Europe. And there's a picture of al-Andalus. The yellow part of the map is al-Andalus. The yellow and the yellow and the red together make up what we know now as Spanish America, Spain. I mean, not Spanish America, excuse me, Spain. And as you see, the yellow part again is where Muslim rule was in effect. So let's move on. Who are the historical Moors? As a refreshing of the memory for those who watched part one and a brief description for those who haven't, let us quote Maria Cristina Ramos, PhD 2011, on who the Moors of history were. Recounting a history of the uses of the term Moor, he explains that Andalusi Arabic sources, as opposed to later Mudehar and Morisco sources, and again, Mudehar and Moriscos are Moors who converted to Christianity. Neither refer to individuals as Moors nor recognize any such group, community, or culture. Moor is a term applied from the outside by Europeans, yet, unlike relatively stable terms of Roman provenance inherited by Christians such as Arabs, Ishmaelite, and Saracen. I'm going to read that again. Moor is a term applied from the outside by Europeans, which meaning it's an exonym, meaning these people that we're calling Moors never called themselves Moors. It's a term given to them by outsiders. More is a term applied from the outside by Europeans, yet unlike relatively stable terms of Roman provenance inherited by Christians such as Arab, Ishmaelite, and Saracen. The significance of the term varies in particular historical moments and shifts over time. And that was the whole purpose for the part one of this series, was to let people know what the term Moor meant and how shifty and slippery that label could be, and how it shifts over time. The definition can depend on the time period and who you're talking to. Early in the history of al-Andalus, Moor signified Berber as a geographic and ethnic identity. Later writings, however, from the 12th to 13th century Christian kingdoms demonstrate the transformation of Moor from a term signifying Berber into a general term referring primarily to Muslims, regardless of ethnicity, living in recent conquered Christian lands, and secondarily to those residing in what was still left of Al-Andalus. Early in the history of Al-Andalus, okay, hold on. That's a double. That's a double type. Uh, we'll keep going. There is two different types of historical Moors: the Black Moor and the White or Tawny Moor. The White or Tawny Moor of the Maghreb call themselves Al-Bidani, which means the whites. Al-Bidani hold a higher status in the Maghreb as opposed to the Haratine. The Haratine are those of sub-Saharan African excuse me. The Haratine are those of sub-Saharan African that were supposed to say sub-Saharan African descent that are either slaves or descendants of slaves. There's an image of a Moor and a Christian. The Moor here with the turban, the sword. You the Christian over here. This is how they depict themselves. There's a black Moor. How were Moors viewed and treated? In James H. Sweet's Iberian Roots of American Racist Thought, this question is answered. Early modern Europeans conflated what we now call culture with what we now call race. Thus, for an early modern period, race and culture cannot be easily separated. A people's inferior culture implied by a biological inferior people. Behavioral patterns and life ways that Europeans viewed as aberrant were linked to genetically fixed qualities, especially phenotypes and skin color. So, with uh, the what Europeans saw as cultural inferiority was usually linked to the color of your skin. Even when these inferior others adopted European culture and religious forms, they could not avoid the stigma of cultural inferiority that their physical appearance proclaimed. So even if you adopted Christianity and adopted European culture, you cannot get away from your physical appearance. You cannot get away from being a dark skinned man, which made you inferior in their eyes. Sweet further explains a dialectic between culture and phenotype operated in such a way that sub Saharan Africans were unable to escape their inferior status. Skin color, as an insignia of race, remained an indelible marker of culture and thus racial inferiority. In Iberia, once the traits of infidel and the slave became associated with blackness, race became the driving force in the formulation of Spanish and Portuguese attitudes towards sub Saharan Africans. For the purposes of this article, racism can be understood as a reduction of sociocultural to the somatic. By the ninth century, Muslims were making distinctions between black and white slaves. These invidious distinctions are best reflected in two Arabic words for slave. The word abd, the plural would be abid, the traditional word for slave, embodied its legal meaning. But in the popular dialect, European slaves came to be called Mamluks. The white Mamluks commanded a higher price than the black abd because he could bring a substantial. So even here you see white slaves being of more importance, more significance, and being worth more than black slaves. And uh, this is in Muslim Spain, Moorish Spain, where y'all say that these black Moors rule. The differing treatment of white and black slaves reflect their relative worth. The Mamluk was viewed as an investment to protect, whereas the Abs, the black slaves, value was based on his labor as an expendable means of production. Wherever there was back-breaking work to be done in the Arab world, black slaves were made to do it. But they ruled, huh? In the 11th century, Said al-Andalusi, a historian from Toledo, wrote on the intellect of several nations. He says about the black Africans, for those people who live near and beyond the equinoctial line to the limit of the inhabited world in the south, the long presence of the sun at the zenith makes the air hot and the atmosphere thin. Because of this, their temperaments become hot and their humors fiery, their color black and their hair woolly. Thus, they lack self control and steadiness of the mind and are overcome by fickleness, foolishness, and ignorance. Such are the blacks who live at the extremity of the land of Ethiopia, the Nubians, and the Zanj, and the like. So this is what these these Arab and Berber Moors thought about these black Africans, the people that y'all claim that ruled Spain. This was their position in Moorish Spain. Over time, Iberian Christians became acquainted with the Muslim system of black slavery and adopted the same set of symbols and myths with additional arguments. Not only were blacks not Christian, but they were the Muslims' servants. Not only were blacks not Christian, but they were the Muslim servants. These are the black Moors that y'all speak of. Not only were they black, but they were not Christian. Not only were they black and not Christian, but they were servants to the Muslims, the heathen, doubly cursed by their status as non believers and their servile condition. The blackness of sub Saharan Africans contrasted sharply with the white Iberians than it did with the tawny colored Muslims, who constituted the majority of Muslim population in the uh, Iberia in North Africa. Let me read that again. The blackness of the sub-Saharan Africans contrasted more sharply with the white Iberians than it did the tawny-colored Moors or tawny-colored Muslims, who constituted the majority of the Muslims in Iberia and North Africa. So the majority of the Muslims in Iberia or al-Andalus and North Africa were white or tawny colored Moors, not black Moors. Excuse me. Here you must note that these black Moors, like the others, here you must note that these blacks were Moors, like the others, though they're slaves, in accordance with their ancient customs, which I believe to have been because of the curse which, after the flood, Noah laid upon his son Ham, cursing him in this way, that his race should be subject to all other races of the world, and from his race these blacks are descended. And this is from uh, Zerara, Gomez Ains de Zerara, which was a Portuguese chronicler for Prince Henry the Navigator in the early 15th century, early to mid 15th century. So, somebody got something to say?
Yeah, I think we just got Kofi and we got Pasta on the chat. Hey, Kofi, when you get a chance, check the chat.
I ain't finna get mad, am
Yeah, you gonna get mad. Nah, you gonna laugh.
I? Alright, I'm finna check it out.
Kofi, like, I ain't fooling with it. I ain't trying to be mad.
But peace,
Okay.
bro. Peace. How everybody doing anyway, man?
Yeah, good, man. Chilling, hitting these Moors up against the head real quick.
No doubt.
All right, let me keep going. I'm gonna go back and read that over again. That first sentence is important. Here, you must note that these blacks were Moors, like the others. So they're saying these blacks were Moors, though they're slaves, though they are slaves to the other Moors, which were the white or tawny Moors, in accordance with ancient customs, which I believe to have been because of the curse which, after the flood, Noah laid upon his son Ham, cursing him in this way, that his race should be subject to all other races of the world, and from his excuse me, and from his race these blacks are descended. All right, so what about Moorish art? I know we see a lot of black Moors in these paintings, and we think that they are of some significance. So let's see. The overwhelming majority of blacks who appear in Islamic paintings are, however, none of these things, neither sacred figures nor monsters, neither exotic nor erotic. They are quite simply slaves and servants. And you see exactly what Bernard Lewis was talking about in this picture to the left or to the right, excuse me. You see the servant serving the harem, and that's what they would do. Blacks appear as servants and attendants, as masons and gardeners, as grooms and huntsmen or boatsmen. But you didn't see no black kings. See what I'm saying? Look at the brother right here, attending to the harem, musical interlude. See the other brother over here, attending to the slave market. See old girl with the fez on. And you notice the dates on these pictures. Look, the slave market picture is 1836. This one was between 1861 and 1946. You know what I mean? So these are not, contemporary pictures. These are not no contemporary paintings. These are more modern. But what about the Moorish chief? I know we all familiar with this picture. All right, what about this guy? Let's see. Behind the man is a spectacular palace. Parts of it are bathed in warm golden light, while others are obscured in dark shadows, adding to the dramatic feeling of the painting. Who is this man? And what is this place? People have speculated about his identity for more than 100 years. The artist hired an unknown studio model to pose for this painting and dressed him up in a costume to create this intriguing image of a powerful man. The palace in the background is based on the Alhambra, a famous building in Granada, Spain, which was built in the 1200s and 1300s by Muslims from Northwest Africa, known as Moors, who ruled large parts of Spain, not the whole of Spain, large parts of Spain. So even though this painting was inspired by real people and real places, the painting itself is an imaginative fiction created by the artist. So this is made up stuff. This is a model right here. This is not a real Moorish chief. It was never a Moorish chief from the jump. Hold on, we'll get into that. The Moorish chief, 1878. This is when this rendition was published. 1878 by Edward Charlemagne. Now this
Hey,
is
Sutek,
what's up?
real quick, brother. I just want to I ask a question, and then at the end, I got a couple points of some slides that was, I think, kind of went over everybody's head. But I just got a real quick question. So that suffix ish, the ish suffix.
Right,
Me coming with the linguistics, right? So we understand, like, when we say things like Moorish, that don't necessarily mean a Moor technically. That means kind of like it, right? Like, I'll be over your house around about 7:30 ish.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Somewhere around 7:30, as opposed to trying to give a more exact type of term or time or estimate, right?
Exactly.
So my question is, because what I'm saying, this is your lane and whatnot. I want to ask, is it safe to say that all black people claiming more identity is really more like Moor-ish because true Moors had power and didn't look like us?
Well, these African American brothers that are claiming more, I would say they don't have anything to do with it. I,
Come,
I'm
hey,
just,
Sutek ain't giving them that.
I can't give them that. I can't give them that, man, because that's North Africa. If you look at Moors, if you look at the history, if you look at who these Christian Europeans were referring to when they called people Moors, they was talking about those people from North Africa. Primarily, they was talking about Berbers and Arabs. First off, now if you're
Hmm.
talking about the dark skin, the sub-Saharan African Moors, they were there too, but nowhere near in the capacity that these Arabs and Berbers were. Most of these black Moors were in some type of servile condition. And like I say, this is where you get this slavery system of the European. It comes from the Arab. This is where you get this mind state of colorism from Europeans. They get theirs from the Arab. So, first of all, North Africa, we ain't come from there. I mean, I just can't give it to them because we didn't come from there. You know what I'm saying? We came from West Central Africa. So, I mean, I do get what you're saying though, yeah, and I agree. But yeah, I can't give them that. I can't let them ride.
Yeah, because like whites, we consider whites like Jewish. Those that subscribe, they say, "Oh, I'm Jewish," and they
Right.
say that themselves. And then the Hebrew Israelites come, "Well, yeah, because we the true Hebrews," and you be like, "Hold on." So that's all I just want to see if that was just kind of in that, you know what I'm saying, that same kind of feel. That's all.
Right. Yeah, I get you. I get exactly what you mean. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so this is my email correspondence with a young lady from the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And I reached out to the Philadelphia Museum of Art because this is where this picture of the Moorish chief is housed. So I said, hello and greetings. My name is Sutek. I have a question about the Moorish chief painting by Edward Charlemont. I'm curious about the subject of the famous painting and the background surrounding the imagery. Was the subject a harem guard or was he a person of higher rank, such as a chief? If he was only a guard, and how and why does this transition of him being a chief initiated? I appreciate your time in advance. Thank you respectfully. And she got back with me actually the next day, I believe. And she said, Dear Sutek, thank you for your interest in the Moorish Chief by Edward Charlemont. The painting's powerful but ultimately enigmatic setting and narrative have inspired a number of different titles. For an explanation of them, please see this digital publication entry. And the digital publication entry says this: an esteemed painting in the Johnson collection, the Moorish Chief, also called the Harem Guard. Now, the Harem Guard was the initial and original name of this painting. This is why I contacted this lady and asked how this transition came about from him being a harem guard and Edward Charlemont naming the painting the harem guard to this Moorish chief, because this was the initial title. The harem guard is known principally for its subject, an African man standing in a lavish palace, rather than its artist, Edward Charlemont, an Austrian painter who divided his time between Vienna and Paris, had singularly eluded the grasp of art historians. Working in two capitals and having a dedicated but small clientele may have obscured his fame. In his day, he was described as an artist who was relatively unknown, but his ability to invoke exotic or historical settings as a applauded as was applauded then as it is now. So it went from the harem guard to the Moorish chief. And if you go to the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the website, it will give you the same information. So this guy right here that we call in the Moorish chief, that's a modern, updated title. The artist, Edward Charlemont, did not label this as the Moorish chief. His title was the Harem Guard. So this dude was a guard. He was a guard for the palace. He was guarding the harem. He was guarding the women, meaning most likely he was a eunuch. He was castrated. So these pictures of Moorish art, where you see these black figures You don't never see anybody in high esteem. You don't never see uh, an actual Moorish chief or a Moorish king or a black Moor that was ruling anything or running anything. You see black Moors being servants. You see black Moors being guards to the harem, to the castles, to the mosques. You see them being having menial tasks, performing menial tasks like sweeping, bringing food, playing instruments for the harem or for other audiences. You don't see black Moors in this Moorish art in any high esteem. But yeah, these are my sources. You can pause it, check it out, write them down. If you are interested in the Moors, I suggest everybody to go and check out all these sources because there's some good information in there. We don't do this for nothing, man. We don't provide you these source references just for you to take our word for it. Um, I am not opposed to any type of correction, any type of scrutiny, as long as it's done tactfully and respectfully.
Hey, brother, I definitely wanted to. You got the works up there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I wanted to say something that stood out to me throughout the whole presentation, right?
Okay.
So the slide that you had where they were describing where blacks come from in our habitat. You mind going back to that slide, brother?
Okay, let me see. Which slide?
Talks about us being in hot climates and because it
Oh,
was so hot. Yeah.
let me see.
I ain't want to cut your wisdom while you was on that slide.
Nah, it's cool. Shit, you could stop me.
Right. I think that's what did I just say?
This is it.
Mm, okay. Nah, you it was a little bit after that.
This it right here.
Right. Right there, the second sentence where he says about black Africans, for those peoples who live near and beyond the equatorial line to the limit of the inhabited world in the south. The long presence of the sun at the zenith makes the air hot and the atmosphere thin. Because of this, their temperaments become hot and their humors fiery, their color black and their hair woolly. Thus, they lack self control and steadiness of mind and are overcome by fickleness, foolishness, and ignorance. Such are the blacks who live at the extremity of the land of Ethiopia, the Nubians, the Zanj, and the like.
Yep.
Wow. That right there, it in a nutshell, is the mindset of all of those that was invading Africa, all of those that have been just basically going to Africa and cherry picking like a feast on the table, what they want, chewing the meat and spitting out the bones, and all the way up until your very political parties running for office today. Like, that is exactly how they look at us. Um, this slide right here, Sutek, is dangerous. Like, I don't think people really understand what's on the screen.
They got to get volume two. I deal with that exact subject in volume two. What these Arabs thought about us, their racist thought, and how they initiated this concept of colorism, or what we would call today modern racism. It wasn't the European. I pose it was the Arab, and the European got these concepts from the Arab. So you'll see a lot of quotes like that. You'll see a lot of uh, the racism spilling out of these quotes in my chapter in volume two. So y'all gotta get volume two. Check it out. I know a lot of y'all got it. A lot of y'all ain't got to read it yet because y'all ain't finished volume one. But y'all gotta get on it, man. Putting out this information. But yeah, that's exactly how they felt. That's exactly how they felt, and that's putting it nice compared to some of what the other these other Arabs were saying. You know what I mean? So
What, like
yeah,
with the Muhammad letters to the heads of state?
man, all that in the
Hmm.
poems, and they even tried to make attempts at scientific racism. Like it was happening all the way back then. Just like you see now, like that blaming the climate and the geographical location for um, their reason of calling these people basically savages, foolishness, or foolish, ignorant, fickle. You know what I'm saying? Like they this is their attempt at scientific racism. They're saying that the temperature, and the geographical location, and the environmental pressures that come with that is why these people act like how they do, which is, something totally different, because I disagree with all the ignorance, foolishness, and all that. But I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel do. But that was their reason for saying that. They attempt at scientific racism.
On my
So
soul, because ain't nothing fickle about me, player. You can come get this work. Don't get me started.
yeah, man. Okay. Yeah. Okay, for the works, we got volume one, like I was speaking on. Uh volume two, which has just got to the Gambia, and which I was just speaking on about my chapter. My chapter deals with the Arab concept of modern racism, the origins of modern racism, which I pose that it came from the Arabs and not the Europeans. Um, we have volume three on the way. I didn't put that out yet because I don't know if we've exposed the cover yet for volume three. So I ain't want to be the one to break it. But volume three, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to get it just by how it look, just by how the cover look. I'm telling
Yeah, man, we definitely do a good job on our covers, man.
you, I'm
What's up,
telling
Rob Born? Peace. Shout out to my boy Rob Born. But yeah, man, the covers is raw, dog.
you, especially volume three. I thought volume two was wrong, but volume three is wrong. Yeah, man. We got also by any Red Sean California, we got One Night Before Bed, and we got Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Pasai. Uh, two children's books which you can enjoy with your children, not just something that your children will enjoy, but something that you can enjoy with your children. We also got Killmonger's Corner. We got volume two of Killmonger's Corner coming out. Shout out to Brother Ben. We got the human chronology of human evolution. I had to throw Unc book up here, man, as much as he show love and support to us, man. We also got Unc and Brother Ben coming on this Sunday too. So y'all be on the lookout for that. They will be on Unc's Perspective. We will be interviewing them both at the same time. So you definitely don't want to miss that show. Definitely don't want to miss that show. We also got Curly Hair Adventures by our sister LaDosha Wright, who has shown so much love and so much support to the whole research team, the whole squad. We got to show some love back to her, man. So pick up Curly Hair Adventures. It's a book. It's a children's book to help your kids be able to enjoy and appreciate their curly hair, which I think is something that's very needed. Very needed. Yeah, man. And you see the shields, Past Research Team, Mossy Warrior Clan, Niger Valley Civilization. Everybody that ain't subscribed to either one of these, make sure you subscribe. Kofi Past Research Team, Mossy Warrior Clan, Niger Valley Civilization.
Hey, go back to the books real quick.
Okay.
I want to shout out. I see my brother Jehudi Ma'at in the chat. I want to shout out. And we was just talking about the covers. I want to shout out Jehudi Ma'at. He did the cover for One Night Before Bed and the illustrations in that book. And I believe he did the Kalawa as well. I know for sure he did Sean's book. But yeah, shout out to Jehudi Ma'at, man. He be putting in some work. That's all. I just wanted to shout my boy out, my brother Jehudi.
Yeah, man, we appreciate we highly appreciate you, man, Jody, bro. You're a real.
Yeah,
And he did the commercials too.
did the commercials too. See, I done left out some shit.
Yeah, man, Jehudi rocking with us, bro. And we definitely appreciate you. We appreciate everybody else that's rocking with us, man. We appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, it's. I want to say that too about the support. It's some of y'all. When I do go back and look at some of the shows, it's some of y'all that go whenever we go live, man. Whatever time of day, what day of week it is, like the sister Tamika, you know, and like.
My bad, T'Challa. I see Jehudi put he did that Killingonger's Corner too. So hey, Jehudi all over that.
Hey,
For
if you
real,
need
for real.
artwork done, I let my man Jehudi. My bad, T'Challa. Go ahead, bro.
Y'all good. That's what I'm talking about. Like those that from the ones that's been behind the scenes working, help pushing and growing Kofi Pasi research team, adding to that seed that has been planted that is now sprouting up. Roots are going deep into the earth, and that tree trunk is getting thick and solid, and it just keeps going up with so many branches that we just gonna continue to grow. And I just want to say, you know, we really appreciate those that tune in each and every time. Like I said, I go back and as I'm writing my first personal work that will be on the way in 2021.
What? Did we hear
Yes,
it here first?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, y'all remember that. What's Your Nationality Part 2? Timestamp 48 minutes. We got T'Challa.
So Tep go make sure I'm held accountable. Take it out, you know.
2021. Let's get it.
I just really want to say that because as authors, right, newly, I guess you want to say we coming into the fold, being new authors ourselves for the most of us. It really means a lot when people really tune in, even to the presentations. Like, because if ain't nobody gonna sit up here and try to absorb the knowledge, then I'm gonna feel like I'm wasting my time. And we can't do it without you all. So I just want to say, you know, I feel like I say it a lot, but honestly, I can't say it enough. Gratitude is something that you have to express over and over again through your actions and through your words. So there you have it, family.
Yeah, man. Like you said, we can't thank y'all enough, man. And we're gonna keep working hard for y'all. Y'all inspire us to keep going, keep doing this. So we appreciate every uh every piece of support that y'all give us, every piece of love, every time y'all come through on the shows. We appreciate every piece of that, man. And hopefully we're gonna keep it going for y'all. Keep hitting y'all with interesting topics, hopefully. And hopefully y'all keep rocking with us, man. But yeah, man. So what y'all want? Y'all trying to do the after show?
Shit, it's whatever. I mean, let's see.
I'm done.
Shit, go ahead. We can get it popped. We can end this one. That way it stay nice, short, and sweet.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do the after show. We're gonna go over to Niger Valley Civilization. So give us about 10, 15 minutes, and we coming right back. Appreciate y'all, man. All right, we